I'm going to teach you my 8 lessons upon turning 58. At the age of 50, I was 60 pounds overweight, in bad health. I was broke from trying to fix up a money pit. I was single as a Pringle, divorced, and single mom to 3 boys. And I was teaching in the most toxic environments that you could possibly imagine. Lowest point in my life was when I was just drinking my coffee on my porch, and I had a very fat cat. I'd had her for 14 years. She's my favorite cat, Zoe. And one of those wild dogs came up and broke her neck right in front of me. It just felt like life couldn't get any worse. Like life couldn't get worse. But here I am at 58 with my 8 life lessons. Life has gotten so much better. Even though when I moved to Nashville, we did have tornadoes, pandemic, our city even got bombed. So we're gonna go over those 8 lessons because they're really going to help you maximize your health, wealth, and happiness. Lesson number 1, do not care. Do not care what people say about you. One thing I've discovered in life, because I've always been the outsider, was bullied a lot as a child and teenager, and even as a teacher for 22 years, is that people are cannibalistic chickens. So amongst the chicken world, there is a bully hen, always a hen, never a rooster, and she will peck on any hen that is a different color, a different size, a different age, or is not from the flock. I've been all of those things. And the second she draws blood, hens are wildly attracted to the color red. All the hens will join in and actually eat that's been pecked upon. So we find this in human society. We've all been gossiped about. In the South, when they say, bless your heart, they don't mean it. It's an insult. How can we prevent the bully hens from pecking? Don't care. When you walk away from the flock and you're like, okay, you know what? I think I'll just stay outside this flock because there's some vicious bullying going on. When you don't care, they don't peck. When you are your own person, you will find that your life expands and you have become a totally and completely different person because you're no longer ruled by this desire for status, wealth, and respect. Instead, you can actually pursue your own dreams and manifest your own future. Live for your dreams. Marcus Aurelius is one of the people I study and just absolutely love. Meditations from Marcus Aurelius. And in one of those, he said, do not fear death. Fear never beginning to live. And if we have reached our 50s or beyond, we have often let other people dictate our lives, be that a partner, society. We haven't lived our dreams. So in this video, I'm asking you to do one thing: subscribe, notify, share, like, all those things. Of course, please do all those things. But I'm mostly asking you to do one thing. And if you can take one thing from this video, friends, one thing, is tomorrow, whenever you're watching this video, I don't care when you're watching this video, tomorrow, spend 1 hour on your dreams. Because we don't know how long we're gonna live. And as we're getting older, we only know one thing: it's getting shorter. Write that book, make that jewelry, do whatever it is that's your dream. Number 3, learn to say no. All right, woman, if you are Southern, if you're a school teacher and you go to church on a regular basis, you basically are banned from saying no. You can say one word. Yes. And after you kind of get into your 50s, you've realized that all you've done your whole entire life is giving money to people, giving your time, baked casserole, wrote lesson plans. All you've done is babysat and took care of other people. I started as a child. I remember like being 7 or 8 and already having to take care of my younger brother and sister. I started full-time employment at the age of 16. I was working my way through college at 17. Yeah, Gen X, we really have been working a long time. So you know what? You can't live those dreams in number 2 unless you take back your life. Take your life back. Say no. Say no. The next time the kiddo asks for money, no, don't have any money right now. The next time the neighbor asks you to watch their yard for a week, no, sorry, I don't have that time right now. The next time your kid asks you to babysit their kids, grandkids all weekend, say, no, so sorry, gotta work on my dreams. The only time you should be saying yes is if it's something you truly want to do that expands your dreams. If you've always wanted to teach a child to read, which I can say is one of the most meaningful things I've ever done in my life, and when I have more time, I will definitely get back into that volunteer. If someone is willing to say, oh, and how much do you charge? And you're like, oh yeah, $50 an hour, here's my business card. Make it business. That's the only time you should say yeah. So number 4 is focus on your health. I am a wellness coach, certified personal trainer, nutrition coach. So I've done a lot and I've transformed my health. So I feel like I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because I have a whole playlist. Short and simple, I had to retire. I had to retire from teaching to reduce the toxic stress and so I could sleep more, okay? So it's just really simple, easy peasy stuff. But if you don't have good health, you're not gonna have a good life at our age. You don't want to be in a wheelchair, not able to get around, not able to think clearly because you haven't focused upon your brain health. Be a wildflower. A wildflower blooms where it is planted. A wildflower goes with the wind. We don't really know where the wind's going to bring you. Do you want to sell your home and just travel for a year? Do you want to be that person that spreads your peace, love, and joy? Do you want to bloom in the harshest of conditions? Be a wallflower. Don't be a hothouse rose. Don't be that aging beauty full of thorns that doesn't spread and grow. Be a wildflower. Accept change. We cannot change the past. We cannot predict the future. All we can do is live in the present moment and accept the things that have happened to us. Marcus Aurelious said that we are like a river. Sometimes there's flood. Sometimes there's drought. It ebbs, it flows. There is debris that gets in our way, but we keep flowing. And we have the silt of the river that we leave behind, the richness of that silt that causes other things to grow. We are accepting of change. Don't fight change. Change is going to happen. We are going to get older. We want to get wiser. We want to change from day to day, moment to moment. But what is your soul? Do you examine your soul? First off, you need to examine your soul. But secondly, is it a child? Do you throw temper tantrums? A teenager? Are you sulky and pouty and give people silent treatment? Is it a tyrant? Do you yell and scream and boss other people? Is it a wild feral animal? No explanation there. Are you a farm animal? Moo. You do what everyone tells you to do and you never speak up for yourself? What kind of soul do you have? What kind of soul are you expressing from moment to moment? You don't want to be any of those things, friends. You don't want to be any of those things. You want to be that wise leader of the tribe. You want to be that king. You want to be that queen, that person that other people look to. And we have a moment of weakness. We can all have a moment of weakness. It's okay. But let's try to be that higher person. Let's try to be that wise person. We know with the orcas, the killer whales, they're the only other mammal that goes through menopause. And the female orcas lead the pack on to the best fishing grounds. So Amor Fati is the belief that not that we accept our fate, which we often say, we often hear that all the time, just accept, but we love it. We love it because it has made us that human being that we are now. And I love it when people say that have actually not been through one difficult thing in their life. But if you're like me and your whole freaking life has been a series of difficult events, and sometimes you're like not quite sure how you survive them all. You're just not quite sure. This term is when we get older, that's when we love our fate. Is we can be that wise person. We can be that person that imparts their wisdom. So going back to 4th grade science here, we are all caterpillars. We eat and eat and eat and go into a cocoon. Think of middle age as a cocoon. And the weirdest thing, I didn't even know this until I started teaching 4th grade science, is that the caterpillar is actually turned into a mush. It's turned into a caterpillar mush, goo. And out of that goo, the butterfly. But the butterfly's wings have to harden, and it's very susceptible to predators when that happens. So we are that butterfly. We have that last little bit of life because honestly and truly, out of the whole metamorphosis, we spend most of our life, like the majority of our life as a caterpillar, but we get that last little bit of life, our last little bit of life, to take caterpillar goo and turn into a butterfly.